sexualization of women. This is just one example. What do I mean? I mean, we've become so used to seeing semi-naked women everywhere. On billboards, on magazines, in movies and commercials. It doesn't even flinch us anymore. We don't even get bothered by it. We think it's almost like, oh, it's normal. We see it in the grocery stores, like, We see it on the billboard, But this is something that should flinch us. The fact that women are being sexualized, in other words, they're being used as sex objects, this should disgust us. But we've gotten so desensitized to it. Why? Because it's everywhere. This is what happens when you become exposed excessively to something that is sinful, that is wrong, or that is shameful, or these fahsha. And the problem is when you're in an environment that literally has no concept of haya. Can I tell you, the Prophet ﷺ told us that one of the most important qualities of our deen is haya. What's haya? Modesty, generally said, right? Do you know we live in a culture that finds modesty to be something disgusting, almost something that's almost like a weakness? It is shunned. We live in a culture where modesty is shunned. Can you imagine that conflict? How does one deal with that conflict? That modesty is considered a weakness. When you're exposed to something consistently, this is now psychology. You guys know about desensitization, right? Do you know what that means? So for example, okay, I'll tell you. For example, when you take a certain medicine, right? When you first take the medicine, there is like this dose that will work, right? But then over time, what happens to your body? It becomes desensitized essentially to that dose, right? So now, as you have to take a certain medicine chronically, you will have to take a higher dose for it to have the same effect. Yes? You know this, right? This is how it works with drugs, this is how it works with medicine. It's the same thing psychologically. So what happens is when you become exposed to something a lot, your heart starts to become desensitized. In other words, you become numb, okay? So say you're always seeing some sort of shamelessness. What's shamelessness? Shamelessness in Arabic, it's called fahsha, okay? Fahsha is basically these things that are just, these sins, things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes, and they're shameless, okay? And I don't have to get into detail about what I mean. The way that people behave, the way that people dress, the interactions that you have to be exposed to, the language, the types of things people are doing, on the weekends, or maybe just right in front of you in the hallway. You understand what I'm saying, yeah? That when you get exposed to that again and again, this is now going in your eyes, your ears. What it does is not only is it putting a black spot on your heart, but it's starting to numb your heart. It makes you become less and less sensitive to the fact that this is wrong. And now, over time, you'll be able to see it, and it has no effect on you.